Dear South Africans, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today marks our 7th public update of the successes achieved by the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, DPCI, which reflect the third quarter of 2023-2024 financial year. I am accompanied by the managers in the DPCI. In the front table here, the Divisional Commissioner for the DPCI, which is Lieutenant General Musipi. Next to him is the Acting Deputy National Head, which is the component head of governance in the DPCI, Major General Molajana. Next to her is the provincial head of the DPCI in Limpopo province, which is Major General Govender. After Major General Govender is the provincial head of Mpumalanga, Major General Harber. At the end there is the component head of serious organized crime, which is Major General Kana. At the back, we have got all the representatives, the provincial heads from the different provinces, as well as the components in the DPCI. As the DPCI, I would like to present to the public that our members are determined to deal with national priority offenses. Their persistence led to the securing of the attendance of at least 724 suspects in court, which is made of 705 natural persons and 19 juristic persons. 229 accused persons, which is made of 220 natural persons and 9 juristic persons, were convicted and sentenced during this period. A breakdown of the arrest per crime category and nationality of the 705 natural person comprise of 582, which is 82.5% South Africans, and 123, which is 17.5% foreign nationals. The top 5 national priority offenses that contributed a high number of arrests are 156 for fraud, 64 precious metals and diamond, and 67 for narcotics. 51 are for non-ferrous metals, whereas 51 are for corruption. During this arrest, the DPCI also seized various exhibits, including precious metals and diamonds, endangered species, vehicles, cash, firearms, ammunition, counterfeit goods, explosives, and electronic devices worth 102,614,521 rands. Out of the 229 convictions, fraud contributed the highest number of convictions, with a total number of 63 convictions. Precious metals and diamond is the second highest, with a total number of 45 accused persons that were convicted. 11 accused persons were convicted for money laundering in terms of the Prevention of Organized Crime Act, POCA. Over and above the arrests and convictions, the Directorate, in collaboration with the Asset Forfeiture Unit of the National Prosecuting Authority, that is the AFU of the NPA, secured 92 orders with a monetary value of 39,642,000. Fellow South Africans, in this brief, I shall highlight only 30 cases, which represent 3% of the 1,045 successes that were registered. The first environment which serious organized crime investigation that talks to attacks on police officials. An attack on police official is an attack on the state, and the death of one police official who is a protector of all people in South Africa is unacceptable. Dear South Africans, while 22 police officials were murdered in this quarter, 12 off duty and 10 on duty, 12 arrests were effected. Furthermore, 3 accused persons were convicted and sentenced to share 4 life imprisonment and 38 years imprisonment. I shall only cite one case of these 15 successes in this regard. The first case is police murderer sentenced to 3 life imprisonment. This happened in KwaZulu-Natal. On the 27th of March 2023, Sergeant Mbongeni Ndlazi, 45 years, and Constable Sandy Zozondi of Mpangeni Flying Squad were shot by motorists while they were performing patrol along the N2 highway near Mpangeni. The members exchanged fire at 2 scenes, which resulted in the death of 2 suspects. The sergeant succumbed to his injuries while the constable was hospitalized for medical attention. Alisani Zitembe Dumisani, 28, was later arrested at Nseleni Game Reserve. During his arrest, he was found in possession of an unlicensed firearm with rounds of ammunition. His bail was successfully opposed and he was in custody until he was convicted. On the 28th of November 2023, the KwaZulu-Natal local division of the High Court sitting in Durban convicted and sentenced Dumisa to 3 life imprisonment for Sergeant Ndlanzi's murder and the accused 2 accomplices. He was further sentenced to 10 years imprisonment for attempted murder of the constable, 15 years imprisonment for possession of unlicensed firearm, and 3 years imprisonment for unlawful possession of ammunition. His sentences will run concurrently. This sentence serves as a deterrent to other would-be criminals that, under the doctrine of common purpose, not only will accused person be held liable and be charged for the murder of police official, but for the murder of their accomplices who died during a crossfire with the police too. May I use this opportunity to warn potential criminals that if you commit a crime with another criminal, you get a title of being accomplice, co-perpetrator, and co-accused when you come to court. The crimes that your co-perpetrator commits are imputed on you. If the crimes committed result in the death of a co-perpetrator, the surviving co-perpetrator will be charged with the death of his or her co-perpetrators, regardless of the fact that the death may have been inflicted by the victim or even the police. Those who are interested in understanding the interpretation of the doctrine of common purpose may read the decided cases of Namani and another versus the state that was done in 2016. The other one is the state versus Nkosi that was also done in 2016. The full reference of these cases will be reflected in the print version of this media statement. Coming to the second case, which is a crime against the state, which is still part of the serious organized crime investigation. This case relates to the July unrest instigator that was sentenced. During July 2021, a video clip inciting people to burn and loot the Brookside Mall in Pietermaritzburg was circulated on WhatsApp social media platform. The mall was looted and burned to the ground, and the estimated damage caused to the looting and the fire was approximately 500 million rands. The Hawks initiated investigation and identified the author of that video clip as Mdumiseni Keta Zuma, a 36-year-old man. On the 28th of August 2021, he was arrested in KwaZulu-Natal, where his bail was also denied. On the 29th of November 2023, the Pietermaritzburg Regional Court sentenced Mdumiseni Zuma to an effective 12 years imprisonment following his conviction on contravening Section 17 and 18 of the Rioters Assemblies Act. Zuma was sentenced to 10 years in prison for the first count, of which 2 years was suspended for 5 years on conditions that he is not convicted of the same offense during the period of suspension. He was further sentenced to 6 years imprisonment on second count, of which 2 years is to run concurrently with the sentence on the first count. This results in an effective 12 years direct imprisonment. We may recall that 65 alleged July unrest instigators were secured to appear in court on charges of conspiracy to commit public violence, incitement to commit public violence, and incitement to commit arson. A charge of terrorism has now been added. All the accused are on bail, and the case is postponed to the 8th of April 2024 at Durban Local Division of the High Court. A decision is pending on another case. Coming to the third case, economic protected resources, which is still in the same environment of serious organized crime. 3 alleged gold dealers arrested. This happened in the Free State. On the 24th of November 2023, 3 suspects, Progress Vayeni Mlambo, Leonard Moyo, and Kokanai Sitole, were arrested by a team comprising of Velcom-based Hawks Serious Organized Crime Investigation, Hawks Head Office, Precious Metals and Diamond Team, the Public Order Police, and the Protea Coin Security. Information about the accused exchanging gold for cash between Free State and Gauteng led to the investigators seeking a search and seizure warrant. They had their eyes set squarely on a certain house in Paris where 3 illegal activities were said to be taking place. 16 nuggets of unwrought gold worth 4,579,800 rands of cash were recovered, and 4 vehicles were seized. The suspects appeared before the magistrate in Paris on the 27th of November 2023 for contravening the Precious Metals Act of 2005, and again on the 29th of January 2024. Mlambo and Moyo, the South Africans, are out on bail, while Sitole, a Mozambican national, is remanded in custody. They are due to be back in court on the 4th of March 2024. In case number 4, accused sentenced to damage of essential infrastructure while stealing diesel. This happened in the Free State. On the 4th of January 2022, private security company personnel were conducting routine patrols on a farm near Vrede when they saw a group of suspects drawing Transnet diesel from a storage tank. The suspect had already damaged a block valve and were filling 4 trucks and a bakkie with diesel. Upon seeing security officers, the suspect fled the scene. A Malawian national, Patrick Kapalamamula, who was left behind, was arrested. On the 4th of December 2023, he was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment by Vrede Regional Court for contravening the Criminal Matters Amendment Act. He shall be deported upon conclusion of his sentence. In case number 5, accused sentenced to 15 years imprisonment for possession of stolen copper cable. This happened in KwaZulu-Natal. In September 2022, Bongani Mbata, 32 years, was arrested by the Newcastle-based Hawk Serious Organized Crime Investigation and the Lady Smith Crime Prevention. The police received information about a suspect who was in possession of stolen copper cable, and they proceeded to his house where a copper cable with a street value of about 550,000 rand was found. Transnet officials positively identified it as their property. Mbata was charged with possession of stolen property and appeared in court where he was successfully opposed when he tried to get bail. On the 2nd of October 2023, Mbata was convicted and sentenced to 15 years imprisonment for possession of stolen copper cable by Ezakheni Regional Court. In case number 6, accused shares 33 years imprisonment for possession of copper cable. This again happened in KwaZulu-Natal. In January 2022, 4 suspects, Sipho Nkosi, Mkolisi Lolo, Nkanyiso Shwala, and Shumake Shabangu, were arrested by Kingsley Visible police members when they were doing patrol around Blood River area. Their vehicle was searched and 120 kg of copper cable with street value of approximately 128,000 was found. A case of possession of property suspected to be stolen was registered at Kingsley Police Station, and the case docket was allocated to the Newcastle-based Hawks Serious Organized Crime Investigation for intensive investigation. It was later established that the copper cable was stolen from Transnet railway lines at Hlobane. Their bail was successfully opposed. As a result, the accused were in custody until the 19th of October, when the Newcastle Regional Court convicted and sentenced Nkosi and Ndlodo to 10 years imprisonment each, Shwala to 8 years imprisonment, and Shabangu to 5 years imprisonment. The quartet is declared unfit to possess a firearm. Trafficking in persons. Trafficking in persons is described as a modern-day slavery and a crime against humanity. South Africa has not been spared this twin pandemic of trafficking in persons and smuggling of migrants. During this period, 19 potential victims of trafficking in persons were rescued. 3 foreign nationals were convicted, while 4 suspects were arrested. 16 awareness campaigns were proactively conducted, and 17 disruptive operations were reactively conducted by the DPCI. I will only allude to one matter in this regard. That is case number 7, trafficking in persons suspect arrested with 14 kids. That happened in the Northern Cape. On the 6th of December 2023, a multidisciplinary team comprising of Hawk Serious Organized Crime Investigation, Kimberley Family Violence, Child Protection and Sexual Offences Unit, and the Kimberley Crime Prevention arrested 2 Zimbabwean nationals on allegation of trafficking in persons. The 2 accused, Tafazwa Otis Nadakura and Beula Maruza, were seen boarding a bus in Midrand with 14 undocumented kids aged between 6 and 14 years. Police were alerted to the incident by a vigilant passenger in a bus from Midrand, Johannesburg, en route to Cape Town. The bus made a stopover in Kimberley. The passenger called an off-duty police officer who in turn alerted the multidisciplinary team for investigation and arrest. The suspects claimed to be taking the kids to their parents in Cape Town. The victim, who are the kids, were inspected and looked not clean, without any additional clothes or bags, and looked hungry. Provincial Trafficking in Persons Rapid Response Team led to the Department of Social Development, which was contacted to assist and placing the kids at a place of safety and providing food. Nadakura was released on 5,000 Rand bail. Maruza is in custody pending her application for bail. The case is postponed to the 15 April 2024, and the kids have been sent back to Zimbabwe. Cash in transit heists. Cash in transit heists continue to be a thorn in the economy of the country, and the DPCI, in collaboration with private organizations, continues to strengthen the fight against these crimes. For this quarter, 55 arrests were effected and 5 convictions secured for CIT. I shall cite only 2 matters in this regard. Case number 8, that is cash in transit heist, accused sentenced. This happened in KwaZulu-Natal. On the 14th of February 2020, G4 security guards were delivering cash in the ATM at the service station in Kranskop when one of them was accosted by Senzo Magwanyana together with his accomplice, who demanded cash and fatally shot the security guard. He further fired shots and wounding 3 school children who were in the vicinity. An undisclosed amount of cash was recovered after a shootout with the police. Magwanyana was later arrested and appeared in court. He was released on bail and never returned to court. A warrant of arrest was issued against him, and he was rearrested at Claremont Township outside Pinetown in June 2023. On the 6th of November 2023, the KwaZulu-Natal High Court sitting in Pietermaritzburg sentenced Magwanyana to life imprisonment for the murder of a security guard, 15 years imprisonment for robbery with aggravating circumstances, and 5 years imprisonment for 3 counts of attempted murder. In case number 9, serial cash in transit robbers convicted. This one happened in the Eastern Cape. On the 25th of March 2022, a G4S vehicle was picking up money at ShopRite in Zentani when the crew was accosted by 2 armed men and robbed at gunpoint. The crew sought assistance from a police vehicle that was parked nearby, and a shootout ensued. Unfortunately, an innocent bystander was fatally wounded. Lwando Ntiantia and Nkosekaya Lloyd were arrested by the Sentani Visible Policing. 2 firearms were recovered from the suspects. The matter was referred to the East London-based Hawks Serious Organized Crime Investigation for further investigation. The investigation linked the suspect to CIT robbery that occurred on the 9th of September 2021 at McDonald's in Amalinda, Cambridge, and another that occurred in Whittlesea at Sondelani Cash Loans, where a security guard was robbed of his firearm, as well as a CIT robbery at Big Daddy's in Wilsonia, where a G4S vehicle was robbed. On the 13th of December 2023, the Eastern Cape High Court, sitting at Makanda, convicted Tiantia and Lloyd on 4 counts of robbery with aggravating circumstances, murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, 3 counts of unlawful possession of a firearm, and unlawful possession of ammunition. The duo remain in custody, and they are to receive their sentence today. Precious metals and diamond and chrome. Offences relating to transnational importing and exporting of precious metals, diamonds, and chrome, and illegal mining committed in an organized fashion remains an area of focus, as these activities threaten economic and national security. I shall only cite one example in this regard: illegal mining. Case number 10, 14 of the 18 Zamazamas sentenced. This happened in Limpopo. During October 2022, the Palabora-based Hawks Serious Organized Crime Investigation received an intelligence about people who were mining illegally at Beggerstorp outside Mahage. An operation between the Palabora-based Hawks Provincial Illegal Mining Task Team and Mahage SAPS was conducted, where the team arrested 18 suspects, namely Tinotenda Gore, Godwin Hope, Derek Madonza, Brian Macha, Gift Macha, Kumbulani Sibanda, Emmanuel Sibanda, Iton Moyo, Mwegezi, Ntolu, Kane Nube, William Nube, Sunboy Shumba, Prince Hobe, Spamandla Zwinde, Ngiti Mhlaba, Lawrence Mlambo, Kazai Ndliwayo, and Tawanda Nyakundia. 4 vehicles and various mining equipments, as well as gold, were seized. The accused were charged with acquisition and possession and use of proceeds of unlawful activities, possession of unwrought precious metals, mining of mineral without rights or permission, committing an act which is likely to detrimentally affect the environment, commencement with listed activity without authorization, failure to use a port of entry, entering the Republic without a valid passport, and trespassing. On the 14th of December 2023, 14 Zamazamas were convicted and sentenced to a combined total of 354 years imprisonment on 8 counts of illegal mining and contravening of Immigration Act by the Lenyane Regional Court. 14 of the accused persons made application several times, and they were denied until their final court appearance, where they were convicted. 13 of the accused persons received sentences ranging from 18 years to 42 years imprisonment and a further 4 years imprisonment or 4,000 rand fine, half of which is suspended. The sentences ran concurrently. Zwide was also found guilty on all counts and received a sentence ranging from 8 months to 6 years direct imprisonment. Further accused, which is Mhlaba and Mlambo, are still on trial, which continue on the 1st of March 2024. Liwayo and Nyakula absconded after they were released on 3,000 rand bail each, and the warrants of arrest have been issued against them. Wild trafficking. South Africa is home for nearly 10% of the world's plants and 7% of the world's reptiles, birds and mammals. Due to the abundance of our natural resources, we are targeted by unscrupulous people who illegally kill and traffic wildlife species for financial gain. In case number 11, Zimbabwean sentence for dealing in protected plants. This happened in the Northern Cape. In June 2022, the police from Kuruman received information regarding 3 Zimbabwean men in possession of protected plants without the necessary permits. They arrested Silence Chani, Blessing Chani, and Stanford Hatidani in possession of assortment of protected plants with an estimated value of 446,500 rands. The Chani brothers pleaded guilty on all counts and were sentenced after the docket was assigned to the Hawks for further investigation. Silence was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment or 10 years fine, while Blessing was sentenced to 12 months imprisonment or a fine of 1,000 rand. They were further declared unfit to possess a firearm. Atidani pleaded not guilty and chose to continue with his trial. On the 9th of November 2023, the Kuruman Regional Court found him guilty on all charges of contravening of the Northern Cape Nature Conservation Act of 2009 and contravention of Immigration Act of 2002, and sentenced him to 10 years imprisonment. In case number 12, 5 suspects linked to Transnational drug syndicate. This happened in Gauteng. The Hawks has been conducting investigation on allegation that some employees of various companies at OR Tambo International Airport are facilitating the thoroughfare of drugs coming into and going out of the airport. In doing this, the Hawks was coordinating the work with the Australian Federal Police. On the 15th of November 2023, 5 suspects, Sterling Kuna, Justice Mathoma, Madimeje Mahawani, Tulani Sibia, and Fuba Mahlangu, were arrested in a highly coordinated operation spearheaded by the Hawks Serious Organized Crime Investigation at OR Tambo International Airport. The arrest was as a result of a joint operation spearheaded by the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation in concert with the Australian Police, the Ekurhuleni Metro Police, the Airports Company of South Africa, the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa, the Menzies Aviation, and the Swiss Port. Mahlangu and Sibia were arrested at OR Tambo Airport, and Mathoma and Mashangwani in Boksburg, while Nkuna was arrested in Tembisa. The quintet is alleged to have had a hand in 500 million drug bust, where the consignment of 5 bags of 100 kg each were recovered in Australia on the 7th of October 2023. 2 suspects are employed by Absa, 2 from Menzies Aviation, and 1 by Swiss Port. The accused appeared in Kempton Park Magistrate Court on the 8th of February 2024 for bail application, where Nkuna Sibia and Mahlangu were denied bail, whereas Mathoma and Mahangwani were released on 15,000 rand bail each. The case is postponed to the 30th of April 2024. In the serious commercial crime investigation environment, a total number of 186 suspects were arrested in 141 cases involving 2,137 charges. The charges include common law offenses of fraud, theft, and contravention of other statutes, which falls within the mandate of serious commercial crime investigations. 129 accused persons were found guilty on 175,626 charges. I shall mention 5 cases reflecting on some of this achievement by the component. We should take note that the 175,626 charges are actually counts in the docket. You may find that one docket contains more than 1,000 charges, which is why you'll see that the number of charges is very high. That is, each charge is a crime on its own. In case number 13, fraudster sentenced 4,855 years imprisonment for 335 counts of fraud. This happened in Gauteng. Since 2017, it was discovered that Madam Hildegard Antoinette Steenkamp was defrauding her employer, which is a pharmaceutical company, Medtronic Africa, by duplicating payments and transferring money directly into a late husband's account in an amount of over 500 million rands. A thorough investigation by the DPCI led to the search and seizure of 11 luxury vehicles, motorcycles, 7 immovable properties, furniture, appliances, and jewelry worth millions of rands. She was arrested and made her first court appearance on the 15th of December 2017 and was granted 250,000 rand bail. Subsequent to several court appearances, Steenkamp pleaded guilty. On 8 December 2023, she was sentenced by the Johannesburg Specialized Commercial Crime Court sitting in the Palm Ridge to an effective 50 years imprisonment on the 335 charges of fraud. For the purpose of sentencing, the 335 charges were grouped into 7 groups, which were further grouped into 3 main groups. While most of the sentences ran concurrently, the sentences in the 3 super groups ran consecutively. That is, the first group 15, the second group 20, the third group 15. So because they ran consecutively, it makes 50 years direct imprisonment. She's also declared unfit to possess a firearm. The process of looking at forfeiture of the items confiscated is taking place. In case number 14, the duo convicted for fraud to a value of 1 million rands. This happened in the Eastern Cape province. From the 14th November 2019 until the 30th of June 2021, Florica Owusu and Abogile Tusha were employed as consultants at Absa branch that is based in Patensi to issue clients with bank cards and also assist them with inquiries. The duo fraudulently opened bank accounts with the aim of transferring cash from various dormant accounts that are at the bank into their fraudulent accounts. They withdrew over 1 million rand in cash that was transferred fraudulently into the various accounts of Henki and surrounding for their personal benefit. On the 27th of July 2022, the Trebeha-based Hawk Serious Commercial Crime Investigation Team arrested both accused persons, and they were later released on 1,000 Rand bail each. On the 6th of October 2023, the Trebeha Specialized Commercial Crimes Court convicted Owusu Tusa for fraud and money laundering. The case is postponed to the 5th of March 2024 for sentencing. In case number 15, 8 accused in the South African State Theatre 24 million rand graft appear in court. This happened in Pretoria. On the 4th of November 2018, a case of money laundering, fraud and theft that took place in the South African State Theatre was reported to the police. It is alleged that 2 employees from this institution siphoned money for their own personal gain as they flaunted the supply chain management processes. The 2 employees allegedly utilized the supply chain letterheads of existing companies to create fictitious invoices without the knowledge of actual companies, but they changed the banking details to those belonging to their relatives, resulting in the loss of 24 million rands. On the 12th of December 2023, 8 suspects, Rimagajo Konaite, Patricia Mabena, Malijaji Mudzweti, Tabo Mashaba, Buang Matseke, Rimagajo Mashishi, Paulina Tlongwani, Mokali Moga, were arrested by the National Hawk Serious Corruption Investigation Team. They appeared in Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crime Court on the 13th of December 2023, where they were granted bail. The case is postponed to the 27th of February 2024 for disclosure. In case number 16, bogus travel agent sentenced to 12 years imprisonment. That happened in Gauteng. In December 2018, Michel Joseph von Furian presented himself as a travel agent and promised to assist in the arrangement of a trip for the complainant to travel abroad. He promised the clients an all-inclusive package with return flight tickets, accommodation, paddock passes to event, including access to the Baku Grand Prix in Azerbaijan. He used the more than 6 million for his personal benefit. Joseph van Furian was arrested by members of the Gauteng-based Hawk Serious Commercial Crime Investigation for fraud. On the 12th of October 2023, he absconded from his appearance and a warrant of his arrest was issued. He was rearrested at Buffalo Hotel in Komatipoort by the local police. Following a series of court appearances, the accused was convicted on the 1st of November 2023 on 49 counts of fraud. He was sentenced to 12 years imprisonment for fraud. In the next matter, the South African Revenue Service SARS related cases. The collaboration between the DPCI and SARS continued to yield positive results. During the quarter under review, 22 accused persons were secured before the court and 6 convictions were achieved. Case number 17, accused to repay SARS more than 1.4 million rands. This happened in KwaZulu-Natal. Between 2013 and 2016, Ndumiso Sithole submitted fraudulent income tax return. A case of fraud and contravention of the income tax was reported at Point Police Station and allocated to the Durban-based Hawk Serious Commercial Crime Investigation for further investigation. Sithole was served with summons and appeared in court several times until he was convicted on 4 counts of contravening the Income Tax Act as well as fraud in August 2022. On the 12th of October 2023, the Durban Regional Court sentenced him to 10 years imprisonment, which is wholly suspended for 5 years. He was also ordered to repay SARS an amount of 1,427,000 rands in monthly installment of 30,000 rand per month for the period of 42 months. He was further ordered to pay 100,000 immediately after the sentence. In the next case of money laundering and the proceeds of crime, here, criminal activities that benefit criminals financially is a matter that requires undivided attention. 1,604 charges relating to money laundering were brought against 41 accused persons in terms of the Prevention of Organized Crime Act, POCA. Through the continuous support in respect of financial investigation provided by the Priority Crime Specialized Investigation, PCSI, component to the operational environment, a total of 6 accused persons were convicted on 7 counts of money laundering charges. In the case number 18, 4 convicts share 80 years imprisonment sentences. This happened in the Eastern Cape. Between the 1st of March 2019 and 18 September 2019, members of the Crowbar gang used hired vehicles when breaking into victims' residential homes. The syndicate was linked to 41 housebreaking during the 6 months period, that is from 2019. They looted more than 4 million worth of household appliances and jewelry during these break-ins. During September 2019, members of the gang were identified. The National Priority Violent Crime Team of the DPCI based in Gqeberha embarked on a major investigation. The investigation led to the arrest of Siphamandla Mdlalosi, Lubabalo Mtanasi, and Phumlani Bono in 2019, and Sibusiso Ngobo in 2020, and Sibusiso Majola in 2023. The 5 were remanded in custody for the duration of the trial. The Quint made numerous court appearances in Gqeberha Local Division of the High Court, which convicted Mdlalosi, Ngobo, Mtanasi, and Majola for a pattern of racketeering activity and 41 counts of housebreaking, theft, money laundering, and possession of illegal firearms as well as ammunition. The 5th accused, Phumlani Bono, was acquitted. The quartet was sentenced on the 3rd of November 2023 as follows. Mtanasi to 15 years on a pattern of racketeering activities, 20 years for 41 counts of housebreaking, 15 years for money laundering, 15 years for illegal possession of a firearm, and 2 years for possession of ammunition. He will serve 25 years imprisonment. Mdlalosi and Ngobo to 15 years for pattern of racketeering activity and 20 years for 41 counts of housebreaking. They will each serve 20 years imprisonment. Majola to 15 years for a pattern of racketeering activity and 10 years for 41 counts of housebreaking. He will serve 15 years imprisonment. In case number 19, accused sentenced to 28 years imprisonment for fraud, theft, and money laundering. This happened in the Western Cape. During the period 2009 to 2015, Sandra Robinson requested members of the public to invest money in a meat business. She promised the complainants huge returns and 50% share in an unregistered business, which were not true. The complainants lost 7.2 million, of which about 2 million was transferred into her husband's account. Robinson was arrested on the 22nd of August 2014. On 23 November 2023, Robinson was sentenced by the Belleville Specialized Commercial Crimes Court to 8 years imprisonment for 4 counts of fraud, 12 years imprisonment for which 4 years is suspended for the 17 counts of theft, 8 years imprisonment for the 21 counts of money laundering, and all these sentences are to run concurrently. Effectively, Robinson will serve 8 years in jail. Financial investigation and asset forfeiture investigation. The financial investigation and asset forfeiture investigation of the DPCI collaborate with the Asset Forfeiture Unit, AFU, of the National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, in attending to the assets of criminals. A total number of 92 orders were granted with a monetary value of 39,642,000 during this period. Of this, 53 are preservation orders with a monetary value of 25 million rands. 32 are forfeiture orders with a monetary value of 9 million, and 1 is a restraint order with a monetary value of 1 million. 6 are confiscation orders with a monetary value of 3,280,000. Those are the achievements. An amount of 5,176,000 was paid into the Criminal Assets Recovery Account, CARA. This is the kind of work that contributes to the CARA funds. I shall only refer to 2 examples in this regard. Case number 20, preservation order worth more than 1.8 million granted for accountants' shares. This happened in the Eastern Cape. Between 3 July 2020 and 19 September 2022, Jonathan Blow was appointed as an accounting officer for Sunridge Super Spa and Dispatch Super Spa, where he was given full access and administration rights to the 2 entities' bank accounts, in addition to the fees for which he had invoiced the businesses. He intentionally and unlawfully transferred more than 40 million rands from Sunridge Super Spa and more than 11 million rands from Dispatch Super Spa to his bank account, as confirmed by the investigation of the Hawks Serious Commercial Crime Investigation in Gqeberha. On the 24th of March 2023, Blow was arrested on charges of theft and fraud. On the 6th of September 2023, he was convicted by the Specialized Commercial Crime Court in Gqeberha. The matter was remanded to the 23rd of November 2023 for pre-sentencing report. He also received a notification, having been struck off the roll of South African Institute for Chartered Accountants, SAICA. The matter was referred to the Gqeberha Asset Forfeiture Investigation of the Hawks for investigation. This was done in conjunction with the Asset Forfeiture Unit of the National Prosecuting Authority. On the 3rd of October 2023, the Eastern Cape High Court sitting at Gqeberha granted the preservation order for shares of more than 1.8 million rands. A forfeiture order was granted on the 5th of December 2023. Blow appeared in Gqeberha's Specialized Commercial Crimes Court on the 7th of December 2023 and on the 16th of January 2024. And the matter is now remanded to the 7th of March 2024 for sentencing. In case number 21, the Hawks secures convictions and confiscation order. This happened in the Western Cape. On the 4th of August 2022, members of SANEP team of the DPCI, together with members of counter-narcotics and gangs crime intelligence, followed up information regarding a truck possibly transporting drugs on the N1 towards Cape Town. The third vehicle was stopped at Wineland's engine garage towards Cape Town. The members observed the movements and conduct of the suspect on the N1 and decided to stop the truck at Jansmart Drive in Pinelands. The driver of the truck, as well as the two original drivers that were waiting on the N1 City Mall, were arrested after 672 blocks of cocaine valued at over 403 million rands were seized. The drugs were concealed in false wooden boards on the back of the truck. After further investigation, 2 more suspects were arrested, making the total number of suspects to 5, namely Mishak Mugezi Ngobisi, Elias Radebe, Ebrahim Kara, Stanley Macherman, and Ebrahim Felix. On the 6th of October 2023, Ngobisi and Radebe entered into a plea agreement with the state at Khayelitsha Priority Court and were sentenced to 6 and 1 year's imprisonment, respectively. On the 13th of October 2023, Kara also entered into a plea agreement with the state and pleaded guilty on dealing in drugs and admitting that the cocaine was destined to be sold. He was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment, of which 7 years is suspended. Kara will serve 8 years imprisonment. Furthermore, a confiscation order was granted where 2 million rand was paid into the Kara account during sentencing process. The matter against Macherman and Felix is postponed to the 15th of March 2024 at Khayelitsha Priority Court for pre-trial conference. The next case is involving the serious corruption investigation. It's case number 22. Department of Health officials arrested for PPE corruption. This happened in the Northern Cape. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the department was procuring personal protective equipment, PPEs. The Northern Cape Department of Health suffered a loss of 26,960,000 rands in contravention of the Public Finance Management Act, PFMA, fraud, corruption, and money laundering. On the 11th of October 2023, the Northern Cape Hawks Serious Corruption Investigation Team arrested 11 natural persons and secured the attendance of 2 juristic persons on warrants and summons for contravening the PFMA, fraud, corruption, and money laundering. The arrest follows the investigation that was first conducted by the Special Investigation Unit, SIU. The accused are the former head of the Department of Health, who was acting accounting officer during the commission of the crime, that is Dr. Dion Theis. Daniel Musiman Nihabe, who was the chief financial officer of the department. Victor Nyogon, who served as the deputy director of finance. Montgomery Leaf and Siabulela Boy, who both attached to the supply chain management section. Witi Mudimu Pete Musegi and Dibueng Manyetsa, both attached to the communicable disease section, as well as company directors. Somanda Sibisi and Cleopatra Norman, director and administration clerk of Macronym Pty Limited, a juristic person. Obageni Samani and Kololo Mampe, director and driver of Mercedes Star Pty Limited. All the accused are expected to appear Kimberley Magistrate Court again on the 26th of March 2024. In the next case, case number 23, 10 years for corrupt former Home Affairs official. This took place in Mpumalanga. During 2023, information was received regarding a Home Affairs official, Nhlatla Matebula, that was involved in fraud and corruption by processing fraudulent passport for foreign nationals using South African citizens' identity documents. By so doing, he was receiving gratification from foreign nationals who were receiving fraudulent passports. The Middleburg-based Hawk Serious Corruption Investigation conducted the investigation. It was established that Matebula colluded with the South African citizen to assist foreign nationals from Pakistan and Bangladesh to obtain South African passports using the South African identity documents. The investigation was finalized, which resulted in the arrest of Faud Muhammad Ali, Christopher Marilia, Gabriel Samuel van der Merwe, and Sifiso Keswa. The accused appeared before White River Magistrate Court for fraud and corruption. They were convicted in March 2023. They were each sentenced to 100,000 rand fine or 3 years imprisonment on charges relating to contravention of the Immigration Act. They further received 40,000 rand fine or 12 months imprisonment each. Matebula, who was linked to the activities, was also arrested. He was denied bail and remained in custody since. On the 11th of October 2023, he was convicted and sentenced by the White River Magistrate Court to 10 years imprisonment for 12 counts of corruption and 3 years imprisonment for 12 counts of contravening Section 49 of the Immigration Act. These sentences are to run concurrently. Confiscation order was also granted against Matebula in terms of Section 18 of the Prevention of Organized Crime Act in an amount of 94,600 rands. This is what he benefited as gratification for processing the fraudulent passports. Crime does not pay. In case number 24, officials and company directors arrested for fraud relating to emergency procurement of classrooms. This happened in the Eastern Cape province. In January 2016, the Department of Education requested the Eastern Cape Office of the Premier to assist on an emergency procurement of 72 temporary classrooms and furniture to be deployed in the Gqeberha and the Etinage areas. A company was appointed for the tender worth more than 20 million rand. Information was received implicating the senior officials in following improper procurement processes during the appointment of the said company. It was also alleged that the preferred service provider was a close relative to the senior official in the office of the Premier, and that the delivery of the said classrooms was not completed within the province, but allocated funds were exhausted. The matter was reported to the Hawks for investigation. On the 11th of December 2023, 8 suspects, Marion Mbina Mtembu, the former Director General in the office of the Eastern Cape Office of the Premier, and the former accounting officer, Hannah Nchingila, Ati Makwenchu, Dion Peterson, and Akobono Nelson Lepoko, Kolekwa Lily Leaf Mtembu, Ntombelang Kwani, and Zikale Nechipala were arrested and secured before court on allegation of fraud, uttering of and contravening the Public Finance Management Act. They were arrested by the East London-based Hawks Serious Corruption Investigation and Serious Commercial Crime Investigation, National Serious Corruption Investigation of the Hawks, jointly with the South African Police Service Joint Anti-Corruption Team and the Gauteng Intervention Unit Team. The octet appeared at Zwelitsha Magistrate Court on the 12th of December 2023 and released on bail. The matter is remanded to the 5th of April 2024 for copies of the docket and indictment. In case number 25, an MEC, political advisor, and chief director arrested. This happened in the Free State. It is alleged that during 2017, Madam Mutsidisi Agnes Goloi, the then executive mayor of Mutaka local municipality, who is now an MEC of the Executive Council, MEC of Social Development, colluded with Mr. Serage Joseph Liu, a political advisor to the Majabeng local municipality, and Vusimusi Rajuili, a chief director for Human Settlement Program, to take over 150,000 rand belonging to Mutaka local municipal under the guise that the money will depend on a sound system to be used during a Nelson Mandela Memorial Lecture. This event never took place, despite the money having been transacted out of the municipal bank account. The matter was reported and assigned to the Hawks Serious Corruption Investigation of the DPCI Bloemfontein for investigation. On the 12th of October 2023, MEC Goloi, Mr. Liu, and Mr. Rajuili were arrested by members of the Hawks on allegation of fraud, corruption, money laundering, and contravention of the MFMA. The trio appeared in Kroonstad Magistrate Court on the 13th of October 2023, where they were released on bail. They are due back in Welkom Magistrate Court on the 29th of April 2024. In case number 26, former head of department joins co-accused in fraud and contravention of the PFMA. This happened in the Northwest Province. During the years 2008 to 2009, the Northwest intended to build 2 hospitals, Moses Kotane Hospital in Ledech and Joe Murolone Hospital in Vryburg, to serve the community. A tender was subsequently awarded to Mr. Property Pty Limited, a company belonging to Lodwane Mabi. This resulted in the loss of over 86 million rand from the Department of Health that was paid to Mabi's company, and over 49 million rent that was paid to Rallyform Investment of Joseph Leshabane. The charges against the two former heads of department, Lydia Gineilwe Sebego and Dr. Andrew Galagala, relate to service-level arrangements that were signed between the two companies and their directors on services that needed to be rendered to these two hospitals. The said services, however, were not rendered, while these companies submitted fraudulent invoices which were paid by the department after being authorized by Vuyo Mbulawa. May the audience and the viewers be reminded that on the 29th of September 2023, Lydia Gineilwe Sebego, former head of department at the North West Department of Health, Mbulawa, chief director at the Northwest Department of Wealth, and Mabe, a service provider, appeared before court where they were granted bail of 10,000 rand, 20,000 rand, and 100,000 rand respectively. Sebeo is facing 2 charges of contravening the PFMA. Mbulawa is facing 10 charges of fraud, and Mabe is facing 6 counts of fraud. On the 2nd of October 2023, Dr. Legalagala and Leshabane were arrested by members of the Serious Corruption Investigation and Serious Commercial Crime Investigation in Mahikeng. Legalagala is facing 2 charges of contravening the Public Finance Management Act and 2 for fraud, and he was granted 10,000 rand bail. Leshabane is charged on 6 counts of fraud, and he was granted 50,000 rand bail. The matter will return to court on the 8th of March 2024. The audience may be reminded that Dr. Legalagala has a separate pending case where he is charged with 2 counts of fraud and 1 of contravening the PFMA, where he allegedly awarded a contract for sourcing mobile clinics to Mediosa Health, a company linked to the Gupta family. He is out on 5,000 rand bail, and the matter will be back in court on the 15th of April 2024 for further trial. In case number 27, officials from the Office of the Chief Justice face corruption. This happened in Gauteng province. It is alleged that on the 16th of May 2022, a UK Canadian-based company, Thomson Reuters, informed the Office of the Chief Justice that ZA Square Consulting, a South African-based company, was appointed as their subcontractor to the tune of 225 million rands. Around June 2022, forensic auditors from Office of the Chief Justice of South Africa detected the alleged contravention of the Prevention of Corrupt Activities Act of 2004 and Section 8 of the Public Administration Management Act, PAMA, of 2014 by Mr. Vikwes Nkosi Kona Mncube, Mr. Caspar Nicolaas Kuzer, and Ms. Yvonne van Niekerk, who are former employees of the Office of the Chief Justice. The investigation revealed that the trio are registered owners of ZA Square Consulting since December 2021. They were part of a tender awarding committee that adjudicated on this matter at the same office. This they have done knowing that ZA Square was intending to subcontract under Thomson Reuters. On the 17th of December 2022, they made an expression of interest to be subcontractor to this Thompson Ritter. The matter was reported to Howden Serious Corruption Investigation of the Hawks for further investigation. On the 17th of November 2023, the trio was arrested for contravening Section 17 of PRECA and Section 8 of PAMA. They appeared in the Palm Ridge Magistrate Court on the 29th of November 2023 and released on 10,000 Rand bail each. The case is postponed to the 6th of March 2024 for disclosure. In case number 28, police officials sentenced for corruption. This happened in KwaZulu-Natal. During 2020, warrant officer Els Jooste of the DPCI in KwaZulu-Natal failed to submit drugs that were seized as exhibits at the Forensic Science Laboratory. She could not account for the said exhibits. As a result, she defeated the ends of justice, and the accused in that drug case were acquitted. In one of the cases that she was investigating, she refused or failed to comply with a court order which was instructing her to deposit 13,690 rands into the account of the South African Police Service. The Durban-based Hawks Serious Corruption Investigation arrested this warrant officer Jooste on the 8th of July 2021. She briefly appeared in the Durban Specialized Commercial Crime Court facing charges of theft, defeating the ends of justice, and corruption. She was released on 5,000 Rand bail. Following a series of court appearances, she pleaded guilty on the 21st of October 2023. On the 10th of November 2023, the court imposed the sentence of 4 years imprisonment or 50,000 Rand fine, half of which is suspended. She further received a 3-year suspended sentence for failing to comply with the court order. Jooste tendered her resignation from the DPCI on the 20th of November 2023 while departmental process was still pending, and she was dishonorably discharged. On the 29th, case number 29, police official and claimant arrested for fraud. This case happened in the Eastern Cape. It is alleged that on the 31st of December 2020, Kolane Somcheu was involved in a motor vehicle accident on the N2 highway in Komga in the East London area. The passenger who was with him during the accident died on the spot, while Somcheu sustained a broken arm, a few minor cuts and bruises on his body. A police official who was on duty on that day attended the scene, and the cause of the accident was a tire burst. A culpable homicide docket was opened. Between October and November 2021, almost a year after the accident, Warrant Officer Madlenkosi Njekanye accompanied Somcheu to Komga police station, where he instructed a police official on duty to change the accident report of 2020 to enable Somcheu to claim from the Road Accident Fund RAF. The official on duty refused to comply with this unlawful instruction, but ultimately succumbed to the pressure. Somcheu went to lodge a claim with the RAF. On concluding due diligence, the RAF detected discrepancies between the two statements. The RAF rejected their claim and referred the matter to the Hawks for further probe. The investigation by the Hawks revealed that RAF was potentially prejudiced in an amount of more than 5 million rands. On the 22nd of November 2023, the East London-based Hawks Serious Corruption Investigation apprehended Somtwewu from Ndabakazi in Butterworth and warrant officer Njekanye of Kompa Police Station for fraud. The duo appeared in East London Magistrate Court on the very same day of arrest and were released on 500 rand bail each. The matter is remanded to the 22nd of March 2024 at East London Court. The last case, case number 30, 3 more accused secured on VBS-related charges. That happened in Pretoria. On the 30th of October 2023, the Hawks Serious Corruption Investigation Team executed warrant of arrest against Thabo Ben Motohwane, Rosina Mangaga Ngoveni, Tabelo Molatlehi, all the VBS corruption-related investigations. The trio appeared before the Buakomu Magistrate Court on allegation that they were all involved in investing 150 million rand of Lebele Nkumbi local municipality in VBS Mutual Bank in 2017. In terms of the Municipal Finance Management Act of 2003, the municipalities was prohibited from placing any deposit inclusive of any investment in VBS. It is alleged that Matohwane, who was the manager at the municipality level at Lebele Nkumbi local municipality, received 100,000 rand as gratification. Furthermore, Molatle, who acted as an intermediary between the municipality and VBS Mutual Bank, received 2,246,000 rand and paid 1,180,000 from his company account, STG Financial Solution, to Mercedes-Benz Bedford View for the purchase of Mercedes-Benz V250D avant-garde motor vehicle. Motohwai, Molatle and Ngoveni were released on bail of 40,000, 35,000 and 15,000 respectively. The matter is postponed to 23rd of June 2024 for disclosure. This brings the number of accused persons in the VBS to 32, with 3 of them already convicted and sentenced. The accused are appearing in 7 different courts. On 8 of the dockets that are under investigation. The team is working hard on this matter and have already obtained 2,898 statements in 26 dockets. Fellow South Africans, as I conclude, it is worth mentioning that the DPCI is currently carrying 19,051 cases, from which 11,186 accused persons are facing criminal charges at court. Of these cases, 1,610 have been finalized on the investigation part and are currently pending decision by the NPA, which is applying its mind on whether to prosecute or otherwise. Allow me to reiterate that the DPCI shall at all times enforce the law of the Republic without fear, favor, or prejudice. I thank you.
Thank you, General. And now we come to the part of our briefing where we will take questions from the floor. And with assistance of Batabile, we are also going to have questions from the WhatsApp group.
General, when the Fusion Center was established, we were told that it will lead to successful conclusion of cases, whether it's civil or criminal, since all law enforcement agencies were working under one roof. Now, I just wanted to check as to why is it that we having successful, civil litigation by SIU and...
Question. The Fusion Center is producing the results that were intended. When it was established and when we indicated working on the cases emanating from the COVID-19 related criminal activities, we have said that the various entities are operating from that center. That is inclusive of the Special Investigation Unit, the NPA, both the AFU and the prosecutors themselves, the SARS, the SAPS, the DPCI, and various other law enforcement agencies. We have continued to work in that model, and we shall have indicated not so long the successes that have come out of that environment. When it comes to prosecution criminally, there are more than 94 accused persons that have already been prosecuted. When we were given the progress on that matter, we have indicated as such. So the investigation is continuing. We have not stopped there. The number of cases emanating from the COVID-19 have gone down. So now we have given that Fusion Center expanded the mandate of what needs to be happening there. We are no longer only dealing with the matters involving the PPEs, but we deal with other matters like money laundering, the terror financing activities, the organized crime, and the other serious corruption and serious commercial related cases. So we will, in future be updating the public on the progress in that matter. I think that model is working very well. Also be reminded that the Fusion Center is one of the establishment of the National Priority Crime Operational Committee. That committee is actually comprised of various departments that are collaborating and cooperating to ensure that we work with each other. When the SIU is conducting its investigation with the intention of taking back what shall have been acquired illegally, we also work closely with them so that the criminal matters emanating from that investigation, we deal with them and produce the finally investigated criminal case to the NPA. So that is working very well. You can see when they conduct the searches, sometimes we join them to go and do it. So that is how one can say the Fusion Center model, which is the working under the National Priority Crime Operational Committee, a legislated body, is producing the desired result. Thank you.
Thank you, General. Any more questions? Batabile? Okay, thank you, General. We have come to the end of our briefing. I think from here, you are also invited to join us at the Promet at Silverton for the handing over of the vehicles for operational members. Thank you.